What are you doing? How's everybody doing today? Good afternoon. Dobre Dean Anneesa Arend Feenster from Countryside Acres here with Joe Rose, the Expat American.
Guys? On the Moscow Metro. Is this going to be the Moscow Metro video or something else?
Nah, we're going to go to the tanks.
All right.
The NATO stuff. They're not really tanks. Is there a tank there? I think there is. Yeah, there's Abrams tanks.
There are tanks there. In this case, we'll see tanks.
Yeah, awesome. We are on our way there. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe and thumb her up or thumb it down, whatever you choose. It doesn't really matter. We are going back aboard the metro. We just left Red Square, as you saw in the last video, and we are now going to be heading whatever direction Joe said.
Beautiful statues, by the way.
If you want to see more of these, check out the last video. Here comes our train. And we are going to head off to see the NATO equipment. Where is the NATO equipment? What's that place called?
We are going to Victory Park.
Victory Park, that's what it is.
An American would consider that a World War II themed park.
Ah. And that's where we're headed. All right, another station. There's Joe. This one looks a lot newer. This must be a newer station, eh?
Yes, it is, I believe. It's got the nice orange color.
Yeah. No? Yeah. You can tell it has age based on colors. As a builder, I think of that a lot now. I see people building stuff, and I'm like, "What are you thinking?" Because that's fashionable now, but in 5 years it won't be, right?
Yes.
And you spend all that money for nothing. Why wouldn't you pick a neutral color that'll just last for ages?
Exactly.
Earth tones last forever.
Exactly. I mean, I even think about that when I'm dressing, like especially because I'm doing stuff that will be on film forever.
Yes.
I always try to dress plain. And even in family photos before I start the show, I'd always try and dress plain. Because you look at like 20-year-old family photos of people.
What was that guy thinking?
Terrible.
Bright pink suit. Or like the toilets from back in the 80s, they're all green and pink with those fluffy doilies on them. Yeah, they didn't last long. All right, so Joe says this is the second longest escalator in Moscow.
Yes, recently it was the longest.
It was the longest, now it is the second longest. Can you see the top? Well, that sounds like something from your channel. You know, you ask a question like that all the time, right?
That's right.
What are we doing here? Where am I? Can you see the top?
Do you have long escalators like this in your city?
Oh, there you go. There is the bottom, and there is the top. Oh, my.
And how some of the mineral would be like, you feel impossible to get through. And some of the mineral would be soft, right?
Yep. We are back among the living. We are no longer groundhogs or moles. And we will soon see daylight. How can people live like this? And, success story, I came with 3 boys, and I still have 3 boys. The Napoleon Arch in Moscow.
Now that star is put up just for the month for Victory Day.
Oh, yeah. So it'll be gone.
So normally we can just walk straight through the arch.
We gotta go back down here to go underneath the highway. We're right in the middle of actually a very busy highway. Never really noticed. Arch is in the middle of the highway. We'll be going under and popping up back over there to get there. There we are, the other side.
So there's the tanks, boys, and the military vehicles.
Oh my, look how mangled that is.
Vehicles that were built by Arend's countrymen and my countrymen that are now in the country we live in, that were sent here. Freaky, very strange.
It is.
For me to be in a country where my people sent military aggressive vehicles towards where my children live.
Very true.
Very, very strange.
Mixed allegiance, do you feel? Doesn't, you don't think about it that way?
What?
Well, East versus West, you know?
Mixed allegiance?
Yeah, our countries are fighting against our new country.
Well, the way I see it is, you know, I'm a Christian first, and I feel like Russia is leaning towards Christianity, and, you know, our Western coalition of countries is not leaning towards Christianity.
Amen.
I'm only going to be alive so long, and I got to raise my kids. You know.
So your allegiance didn't change, it stayed with God Almighty.
Exactly. I feel like it's my country that changed.
I could not have said that better myself, folks. Okay, so this would be one of the monuments to the Great Patriotic War. There's a lot going on there in this relief as well. How do I feel coming here? I think Joe summed it up really well. I don't have an allegiance to the other side. It is my country that has raised me for 35 years, but I don't agree with its policies, and definitely not with this war that they're waging. And so, yeah, I don't really have thoughts that way. I think the hardware is really neat. That's what I'm coming to see. And I recognize the need for this conflict is much greater than just a Ukraine versus Russia thing. It is an East versus West ideological battle that is going on, and I believe the winner will be the one that chooses God, and I think that's pretty clear to see which side that is. Well, some of this hardware looks like it's in mint shape, so quite a bit of security getting in here. Understandable as well, as this is a trophy area. There would be some that would like to see it disappear, I'm sure. Now here, and face to face, it does add some emotion to it.
Abrams.
This is the Abrams tank.
So this is
America's main prize. That was supposed to be a big help. Within what, a week or two? Very short order anyway. Russia had knocked out 6 or 7 of these already, and here is one on display.
You can see fire damage. You see cracked glass where the gunner would stand. And it's especially creepy because, you know, these are built by Americans and sent here, you know. You know, there had to have been loss of life for these vehicles to end up in this park that you and I are staring at right now.
Yeah. Look at the holes, even bullet holes in the cannon there.
The track is all messed up.
A1 Abrams. That is something. And you can't just look at this as, oh, cool. I mean, there is loss of life, like Joe was just saying, that there was people that were working in this thing. Whether we agree with their motives or not, we agree with one side or not, a human life is still a human life.
Yeah, I mean, they of course don't think that they're bad guys. You know?
No.
They think that they're
doing their job.
Yep.
And
yeah, they are no longer here because of it.
Quite something. So there is there an order to this? Because this is American as well.
Yeah, it looks like we follow the loop around. And so we have two.
So we should have started on this side, perhaps.
Well, you have to jump back and forth as you go through. Because that's the entrance and there's no other way to go.
Right.
Except this way.
So I'm guessing this is a personnel carrier? I don't really know. Oh, maybe not. No, maybe a recovery vehicle.
So
it's got a tow truck on.
Right.
Okay, as Joe leaves us, we're going to two of us. Joe's going to go get his children from school, and we're going to have a look at some more of these captured NATO weapons. Off the road. This one here, you can see the tracks blown off.
This one still looks perfectly good.
This side, yeah, the other side might be bad.
经常有这种情况的是吧？身体素质不是很好的。
Единичные согласен. Это как бы единичный случай, но вот сейчас она 21 числа, фамилия ее Санина,
This is obviously quite a tourist attraction for folks. Not sure what these guys are all lined up for specifically. There's a long lineup to go into here, which is the trophy Army of Russia. So I don't know if there's things on display in there, perhaps. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask someone later. So this is one that I noticed on the way in earlier. Looks like it's made by the Australians, and it is definitely badly damaged. Engulfed in flames. Windows are gone. What I have not seen actually is any Canadian flags yet at this point. I don't know how many vehicles were donated by Canada actually. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm just looking over people's shoulder here. It looks like it's all captured military hardware as well. There's guns, there's ropes, there's things that obviously survived the bombardment. Up in the sky there's a drone. It's a big drone. And more soldiers and things. Okay, so I don't really know everything that's in there, but it's a huge lineup for that one. I'm not going to bother waiting in line. We do have a lot to see, and we are on a bit of a time schedule because we have a train to catch tonight again. So. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I wonder why that is. That didn't. Wes just noticed the gun up on the top of here doesn't look right. Everything else does. Interesting. I wonder how that happened. It was very real, you know. Bullet holes. Very real indeed.
See, Papa, that tire is flat.
Servicemen watching. French vehicles. A NATO truck. This is Great Britain. They did put flags on them all. So you can see the flag. So a lot of these are still in pretty decent shape. So whether they were just left abandoned by the Ukrainian troops or captured, but they look like they were captured more or less in one piece. Some of these, not all of them. This one here, you can see some clear turret damage. That's another American vehicle again. So that one's a Ukrainian flag on. This is the American. This is Ukrainian again. More smashed glass. Another Ukrainian. So like I said, these windows are smashed, but other than that, most of the vehicle's in very good shape. Actually. You see the size of this? That's up my hand against it.
Ooh, that's a wide tank.
Now, somebody pointed out they still have the rubber on the tracks, which apparently is done for parade purposes and wouldn't be in the battlefield. So I'm not an expert myself, but I can see the rubber firsthand. It is here. And so the suggestion was that these were pulled out they were used for parades, and that's all they were, extinct equipment basically, and then used by the Ukrainians, and they never took the rubber out. And they should look more like this track, where it's just steel. And so some of these got bogged down in the mud. I don't know if this is it or not. I have no idea. If you want to see some good information on all of this stuff, you can check out The Real Reporter, Constantine at The Real Reporter. That's his YouTube channel, Real Reporter. He's got a really good video on it, and there's lots of other ones as well. But he got up close and personal with a lot of these, and also shares a lot more of the history on the specific pieces. So, you know, it's gonna be a lot more informative basically than what you're seeing here. I am a farmer, I'm not a military man, and although I love history, I do not know all the ins and outs of these pieces of equipment. I may have a lot of facts wrong. So we missed these ones earlier. This is German-made tank. Again, there's some evidence of burning, fire damage. This is a Leopard, German Leopard tank. So we've all heard of those. And this one is in Moscow.
It also has rubbers on it.
Yeah, mostly wore off though. Looks like they chewed a lot of it off driving somewhere. Here again is another one with the rubber still on the tank, or on the tracks. Another German one. This would also be German, but this is World War II German, I believe.
Kind of sad, but at the same time cool. It's cool to see what it looks like, but I wouldn't want to be the guy in it.
Right. Loss of life. Yeah. Did you ever see tanks and stuff like this before?
Not that I can remember.
Not up close, anyway.
No.
Like pictures on tanks or movies, maybe, or
Yeah.
something. Or on yeah. Any emotions you think about? This is the west that we left. I don't see any Canadian vehicles yet, but a lot of American ones.
I don't feel that way. I just feel like for the people that died in that,
For either side.
for nothing.
Yeah. Fair enough. It's hard to say what you think. I want this side to win because I believe this side is right. I believe Russia is in the right. And this is not, as a lot of people suggest, and you see it in the comments quite often, a war of aggression that Russia is waging on Ukraine. That is so far from the truth. There's so much more to it. You know, it started a long time ago, and people need to kind of look deeper. Regardless of those facts, it's still sad that human life that is lost in any war is so senseless. It would be nice if we can come to a peaceful resolution without any fighting, without any need for that. Unfortunately, that's not reality, and it is at times necessary for one to lay his life down for his country. So yeah, it's mixed emotions, very mixed emotions. I love military hardware, so it's really neat to be able to see this stuff. That part of me, the kid in me, is like, oh, this is really neat. But on the flip side, each of those bullet holes, each of the burnt pieces of equipment, you know, it tells a sad story, a lot of it. All right, we are at another American piece. Do not forklift, it says. So, 155 millimeter. Again, I don't know enough about my military hardware, but it's another captured piece of equipment in any case. Guard presence, police presence, soldier presence, to keep all this stuff safe. And obviously keep the people themselves safe. Because, like I said earlier, there would be a lot of people that would like this to disappear. These guys are not armed, so maybe a lot of this is also just a bit of a show, to show what they look like. As far as I can tell, these men are not armed. That man is, over here. But I don't believe these soldiers are armed. Humvee. recognize this flag. Actually, I know I should, but I don't. This is another one from Great Britain.
Вообще-то машина идет, открывается створка, а здесь идет.
Another American Hummer. This one's from Turkey. That's a big one. Again, bullet holes in the glass. Not punctured through, they would all have bulletproof glass, of course. We're on the back side of these now. That's the A1 Abrams over there again, that's all burnt out. The other side of it. This side is the American one. Interesting, there is no Canadian hardware that I can tell. American again. Great Britain. Such a throng of people. Now there are servicemen here giving answers to people's questions. It's a fairly informative display here. These ones all have Ukrainian flags on them. Who actually built them? I don't know if these are actually Ukrainian vehicles or not. They may be. Check the comments, because I'm sure there's a lot of experts out there that are going to leave all their opinions down below. That one I think is Sweden, isn't it? Swedish flag? Maybe. Interesting camouflage on that. Other servicemen. That flag, Czech flag maybe? I don't know. Not sure what that is. And one more Ukrainian one here. Also banged up. You can see some damage down below there. Servicemen. Not sure what's back here, camo stuff. So this part, of course, would be the Great Patriotic War. And the Soviet Union fought for its survival against Nazi Germany. An idea of the size of the shells that those things are lobbing. There you have it. This is the trophy section of the Special Military Operation with the collection of captured NATO equipment. Obviously there's much more, but this is what is currently on display here. And it is on display till the end of May. After that, it is going to be moved somewhere. But I have not been made privy to wherever it will be held. I do not know. We are now going to go check out some more of this. Victory Park here. We'll take a look around and a stroll through. Joe told us there's some coffee available here and obviously lots of historical stuff to see. And we will eventually meet up with Joe here again at the end of this video. we got some refreshments, and we are now walking farther down. So there's supposed to be an exhibit here of German tanks farther down. So we're gonna walk there and also see what's up here. Beautiful church again. Like I said many times now, you can hardly get a shot here in Russia without a church in the background somewhere. And to me, that is a powerful testament of a wonderful nation. Paying bathrooms. Swipe your debit and go to the bathroom. A beautiful park here again. We should probably move over there and walk in there instead because it is quite stunning. Part of the job as a parent is to educate your children. If you don't know the information, look it up or help them look it up. Google obviously has lots of information. It's not always factual, but there's lots there. It's good to educate your children, especially about history and the past. We're gonna go take a look at that shortly. Up here, just walked up these steps, and that is the park. Massive, massive park, Victory Park. And this is, of course, all still part of it. It's very beautiful here. The beautiful flag of freedom flying right here. For all of us around the world that are looking for something better. I'm telling you this because I believe it. And that's why we left everything behind and moved our family here. For a new start, a new chance at something better. I could not place it at first, but now I see it. St. George slaying the dragon. Now around the base of the pillar, these pillars, drop it in the comments, okay? These pillars have a name and I can't think of what it is right now. But anyway, along the base of it, there is depictions from World War II. And again, these tell a story. Pictures are so powerful. There's so much there you can look at for a while. You know, tanks and things. And all the way up. Man, that's bright in my eyes. I'm sorry if I'm not pointing in the right direction, guys. But there is stuff all the way up. Oh, I can't see. It's way too bright. It's hard to see. But anyway, there's a lot up there. This angle again. Church. Now, over here, I think, through this piece and back here is the German tanks. I would really like to see. If we get around the back side of this, I might be able to zoom in a little better. A little easier to see. Up at the top, yeah, see, I think they are angels, eh? At the very top, well, I've seen there were trumpets, and I figured they were probably angels, and I think that's what they are. Alright, so here it's going to be a little easier for me to see anyway. Maybe you guys can see, I don't know. I'll tell, I guess, later. Wes was commenting earlier that all the places we've seen, they've spent a lot of time and effort in making these parks and these memorials for the Great Patriotic War. And it's just a testament to the huge sacrifice, which is what I was talking about when I said a little history lesson. But the 28 million estimate, it might be higher, of people that died, Russian, Soviet citizens that died in World War II. It's mind-boggling. It's hard to even grasp. As Wes said, I don't know what that means. Like how big of a number that is. You know, it's so many people. And essentially, I said it's Canada's population just hit 40 million. And so essentially that is 3 out of every 4 Canadians today would be dead. That's what that means. And still, it's unfathomable, that kind of a sacrifice, that they just would not give up after losing that much life. You know, I'd almost say any sensible nation would have quit losing that much, and they didn't. They kept fighting, kept going. That says a lot to the Russian character, I think. Yeah, that's my belief. It's quite something. Well, they even have English on here. It was designed by an Austrian company in 1940. Howitzer barrel with a muzzle brake and horizontal wedge breech block. Not transported on horses and packs. It was not transported on horses and packs. The howitzer has a separate loading system. I don't know if that's totally very good English, but anyway.
Look at this, fella. That truck.
Look at what? The truck. That's neat, eh? So we've got military sounds going on, artillery shelling. Now keep in mind, World War I was supposed to be the war to end all wars. Then we went into World War II, which was another horrific battle. And now the world is seemingly hostile again. It's something else, man. My whole life I've been interested in World War II stuff, and I've never been able to see. This is something. Obviously, the war was not fought in Canada, so being in Canada, you're not going to have German tanks sitting around. I'm sure in Europe there is parks, but I've never toured one. So this is really amazing piece of history preservation right here. Yeah, this one does too. Yeah, I think we could. So this would be the trenches. Hey, don't run. We want to be respectful. Running is not respectful. All right, so from here, they would have been fighting against the enemy. Yeah, can you imagine? This is your home for.
Probably they could run in these things and shoot it.
Some guys were in here for years. Huh?
They could go in here and shoot it.
Yeah, I don't know how many would have been made out of metal.
It would probably be deeper than
Yeah, a little bit deeper, and they would have been made out of logs usually, not metal posts.
a lot deeper.
But it's still very interesting that they have this here. Let's go check out this bunker here. Okay, so this is locked. We can't get in, but you can kind of see in there a little bit of a bed.
Helmet on the bed.
Rest area. Medical bag, so I'm just going to assume again this is. Oh, here you go. Purpose of this structure to shelter single soldiers from rifle and machine gun fire, fragments, mine shells, as well as for temporary storage of ammunition, food, water, and other household supplies.
Here.
Yeah, let's go that way. I think there's another building in here. Isn't there?
There's that one.
Okay, back this way.
Enter. But there might be another building. There might be.
Nah, maybe another one over there, yeah.
Yep.
Not open. Yeah, we'll keep going.
Goes upstairs though.
Here's another bunker of some kind here. Not open. Each one's depicting something. So this will be barracks life. There's a soldier sitting there playing the accordion. And then some sleeping quarters here. And then again. There's a gentleman standing at the stove. Trying to block the light so you can see, but very interesting. Well, that would have been the door to get in. Yeah. So very nice historical piece. And having that gunfire in the background really adds a sense of realness to it. Authenticity, that would be the word, a sense of authenticity to what you're seeing. I can't imagine. I mean, movies don't do it justice. I've seen a lot of movies. It's not the real thing because you're not feeling that fright that they would have felt. You know, I've heard guys say before, old veterans, you know, that anyone says that they aren't scared is a liar. You know, and I think that's reality. Like it's quite something to be in that kind of danger. Here it's dug in for a fight. Tracks are missing on that one. Used for protecting the fighters from bullets and enemy fragments during firing and observation. Portable gun shield. Okay, so these guys. This too. And the tank dug in. Intended to conduct a circular fire from machine gun, protect machine gun team against fragments and bullets. Those constructions were built as a means of strengthening positions used during the Finnish War. Could be a bunker, I'm guessing.
Be stuck in that thing.
Armored cover for firing and observation. USSR anti-aircraft gun. Ramming of wooden and metal piles on land and on water was used to... Ah! There you go. So this is a giant post pounder, essentially. I'm hoping to build a post pounder to put fence posts in. They're using this in 1942. Got the railway system. Another one. Part of a bridge blown up. So much to see here, people. So very much to see. Alright, you don't see this every day either. Beautiful train. And I would have been bringing military cargo, and that there looks like a hospital car with a plus sign on, internationally recognized. We got some more guns here. And we were just looking at this guy, which would have been pulled around on the tracks. Whoa, pulled on the tracks as well. I would love to see some comments on that. I will not have time to read them all, but I'm just guessing it's got these props underneath it that if they spin those sideways, if you turn that gun sideways and fired, it would knock it right off the track. So I'd like to know, what's the history on this guy? it's big. Now there is some bars hanging on the sides here. You can see them right there, and maybe they hook those up sideways in order to brace it. I'm not sure. We gotta get moving though. We've got a lot more hardware here. Look at the small slits in this that they would have been looking through in order to not get shot. So now what we have in the modern day equipment is mirrors, and so you're looking in one hole and the mirrors are pointing out another hole, and that keeps the occupants from being shot in the face, basically, by looking through the holes. I'm sure some of that's on here as well, but that guy just has slits. Massive guns. Amazing. Not going to read them all. The howitzer had a powerful projectile with a wide elevation angle and adjustable charge, providing 10 values of muzzle velocity. The howitzer was successfully used to destroy concrete, reinforced, and armored shelters and deep targets. After the Great Patriotic War, the B-4 was modified. Tracked carriage was replaced with wheeled. So this guy would have been tracks. So these are probably, yes, the same machine. That guy's on tracks, and now you can see this one's on wheels. Shorter muzzle on it, but sounds like it's the same piece of equipment. Okay, this is definitely a must-see. If you were in Moscow, you have got to check this out, because for 350 rubles, I have got a family of 4 into this park. And this is like chance of a lifetime. You do not see this equipment just laying around anywhere. Come, check it out. Sherman medium tank, USA. The main task for tank developers were these uses. Tank was known as Sherman in Great Britain. The Lend-Lease supply of medium tanks to the USSR had started in the end of 1942. 2,000 tanks were shipped in total. So this came from the States in their assistance to the USSR in helping to fight the Nazis. This one's also an American one. Great Britain had lost interest in this type of guns. Yeah, I didn't see it real quick there, but
That's one of the tanks.
T-44. I'm skipping some. Soviet tank with transverse engine production started a factory in Kharkov. First 5 tanks were produced in November 1944, so it's close to the end. There's a big one. All right, so I don't know what's custom here. I really don't, and we try to be respectful. I always tell my children to stay off of memorials and things out of respect. And so we noticed this in Nizhny as well. There's the old vehicles there. A lot of people climbing on them. And I always tell my kids, don't do that, because to me, it's disrespectful. But again, we're in a different country and different cultures, different traditions. Here we see kids climbing all over them. So I don't know, is this normal? Is this allowed? Or are these kids just being disobedient? I don't know. I would caution my children not to do this. Even my children said they looked at that. I can't believe they're climbing on that. I said, no, neither can I. So I don't know if it's allowed or not. You can drop your comments down below on that as well. We're gonna quick skim through this part yet. We need to get going. Showing the inside where these guys work. So you got boxes full of munitions. It can be loaded in to shoot. That's your turret up there, and obviously your driver and co-pilot. I feel almost a little sad rushing through this because there's just so much here, and I don't have the proper amount of time to really do it justice. But I encourage you to come see it for yourself. The majority of the people that come to Russia land in Moscow, and so you could easily spend weeks and weeks and weeks in Moscow. I mean, there's lots to do, and then you can see these exhibits for yourself. The videos will not do it justice anyway. I know my brother Marcel, who will probably watch this video, would just love to be in here. Him and I both just love World War II stuff, and spend a lot of time reading it and talking about it, and just, yeah, it's part of our growing up. Obviously coming from Dutch heritage, it's very dear to us. My father's father fought in World War II, against Nazi Germany. The Netherlands was overrun in 5 days, which is still quite a testament for such a small little country. It lasted 5 days. And my father's mother helped to hide Jews in World War II. Obviously, my family comes from there. It's very dear to us, and we've always been very respectful of the sacrifice the Canadians made in saving Holland and saving the Netherlands. It's been very important to us, and is also why so many Dutchmen moved to Canada after the war. Unfortunately, Canada has changed a lot since then, but we're still grateful for the sacrifice that was made by the Canadian people to save the Netherlands from Nazi aggression and occupation. What we don't study a lot, and that's not because we don't care, but again, coming from our Dutch roots, it's mainly, I also went to a predominantly Dutch school in Canada. Our roots are, of course, in the Netherlands, and so our history is primarily focused on that part of Europe. Now, in the West as a whole, the involvement of the USSR in what we call World War II, what Russia here calls the Great Patriotic War, it is overlooked, sadly. And I find that very sad, because by far the largest contribution was Russia. The USSR, I guess, at that time. So people are astonished at the respect and care and time that we spend on this. It's because I do deeply care. It was very important to me as well. My family would not be here today, very likely anyway, if it wasn't for the sacrifice of Canadian soldiers. And we have to recognize USSR's involvement in the war in ending it, because if it wasn't for the USSR, Nazi Germany would have very likely won, in my humble opinion. Yes, I think they're all cylinders. Yeah, that's quite something.
So as it's coming along, we're just giving an extra.
I'm guessing so. I don't know.
Pass.
It's amazing. What do you boys think of this? Walking through here. All of it, all the stuff you're seeing. Memory lane.
I like it.
It's pretty neat, eh? Mm. Oh, don't touch it, Bob. Remember to be respectful.
Been in the wing?
Yeah, somebody would have been in there probably shooting.
Looks like a bone.
I don't know. All right, let's go this way. Okay, we're gonna make our way back now again. Joe texted me he is in the park now. Like this, I would not allow. So I don't know. Drop it in your comments. Is this proper behavior for Russian children to be climbing on this equipment, or should they respectfully keep their distance and just observe? How do you guys feel about that? Big anti-aircraft guns. See, originally the bombers, that was a problem they had. The bombers didn't have guns. And so, at least in England, you could see on the east or western front, you'd see the German planes going one way and the Allied guys going the other way. I mean, they could wave at each other or yell at each other, but they couldn't shoot each other. Eventually, they added guns.
That's where they dropped the bombs right there, that hole?
Yeah, those look like, yeah, there you go. So this is a bomber, and there's a big bomb there. Somebody'd have to shove them out the hole.
Oh, so you drop it at the wall? Or like...
I guess, yeah, I don't know. I thought they would have a bigger door than that. That was a small door. But you can see the guy up in the back turret. He would have been shooting out of there. See the gun? Because, of course, the fighter jets would try to get the bombers knocked out, right? So, pardon me?
What if you shoot the plane?
Well, don't do that. That would be a bad idea. These are really neat engines all the way around like that. Very neat. You must operate that from inside. Nobody's going to lay in the wing, eh? This is really quite a magnificent display. Yeah. No, I think they would just drop down. So here we are by this guy again, and I wondered if these maybe come out as braces in order to keep it from getting knocked over, maybe. That is a massive gun. Didn't hear Joe say this. Is Russia a scary place? But maybe it is, because we're being followed. There's this guy with long hair, and he's following us around. And we lost him earlier, but now he's back. I just seen him over here, and he's going to be coming around the trees here. And I wonder if maybe we're being stalked. Not only that, he has an accomplice with him. He was alone earlier, but now I see he has a little helper with him. Are we in danger? By this gentleman right here.
Here I am. I found you, Arend.
But he doesn't have a Russian accent.
Is Russia a scary place? It is interesting, though, that this captured World War II equipment exhibit in this park is the same park that has the newly captured NATO equipment at the front.
Very true. The interesting thing is that there is Soviet weapons here that are actually American built, and now there's American built weapons fighting against Russia, which is actually kind of a... Okay. These are neat, eh? I always love this old stuff. 1930s. I always wanted to get like a late 40s, early 50s pickup truck.
Yeah.
I don't imagine I'm going to find, an old Dodge or Chevy here.
Yeah.
I have to pick an old Gaz or something.
And look at this, man.
Look at that plane that crashed.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
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 Little burned up plane.
Yeah, they did a wonderful job in this park.
I like this old car. First off, this looks like something off of Indiana Jones, maybe?
Yeah. What's the age on that? No date? Oh, M 1944. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess it's 1944. And that brings us back up to here. The burned out bridge, blown up bridge. Do you want to know what they asked? Go check it out on his channel. That concludes another video of Victory Park. There's so much to see here. I think you could make 4 or 5 videos in this place, and I urge you once again to go check it out. If you're in Moscow, this is something you gotta see. It's just really historical.
Oh, definitely. If you have sons, this is definitely the place to go to see all this equipment. And it's massive. I mean, they have submarines and ships and everything here.
You can easily spend more than a day. Well, a day anyway. You can spend a lot of time here.
Yeah.
If you're interested in it. If you're not, then I guess you'd be done pretty fast.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyway, as always, please like, share, subscribe. Show it to everybody that likes it. Thumb it up, thumb it down. And we will catch you guys in another one. God bless you.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now.